I can say without a doubt, this Federal Reserve video that I'm about to drop will be the greatest researched video I have ever made in my entire life. I went down the rabbit hole for real. I got evidence of the Federal Reserve's corruption that dates back all the way to like 1907. I found very alarming evidence that there's more taxes on your money, more hidden taxes that you don't know about, that is not inflation. I found evidence that the Federal Reserve moves asset prices in a very predictable way, a way that we could essentially follow the lead of this corrupt organization to make money. I'm going extremely deep on a level I've never gone before in my entire life. I can say that without a doubt. I'm going so deep that the rabbit hole has left me without time. I have no time. Guys, I'm not going to be able to drop the video the July 1st. I'm not going to be able to do it. I just went way too deep. Now, I will tell you though that it's worth the wait. Why? Because the exact moves that were used to create the Federal Reserve, which there's very powerful figures like JP Morgan and the Rothschild family, they made these strategic plays in the 1900s that directly correlates to what's going on in the crypto market. It's almost like the big figures that you guys know that own the exchanges are taking the exact playbook that they used in the 1900s to create the Federal Reserve, and they're replicating it in crypto. It's extremely alarming. When I first made this video, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do, kind of like a deep dive into the Federal Reserve, explain things about the Federal Reserve and, how they do this, that, and the third. And it just got so deep. It just got so deep that I'm like referencing articles from the 1900s. I can't really explain it with words unless you guys watch the video. But there's one thing I will say is that this is the deepest video I have ever made in the history of my entire YouTube channel. I'm putting it on the line, everything, all on the line. Join the movement, share this with somebody. It's gonna be extremely deep. Now, if you do want the insider research as I do it, I do have a group where I communicate everything I do. And they actually sometimes help me with the research. It's called CoinPix Inner Circle. This is where you get my buy and sell calls, which by the way, I'm up 32%. I made a buy call in April. I was bullish the entire time. I've said this over and over again on the internet. I actually said it publicly too, so you guys can go watch my other videos. But I do know that from history, when I followed liquidity, I made huge amounts of money. And I'll tell you what, the liquidity is moving to Ethereum. And today we're going to talk about a hidden gem with a smaller market cap that can have a potential to blast off if the market jumps with it, which I do think it is. Watch my last video. We talked about that. This is a major warning for all cryptocurrency bears. I have to warn the bears because I do believe there is going to be a very profitable, lucrative pump in price. Within the next week or two, I think we're gonna get a all-out rally up to the 32K price range. So what I'm looking to do is monetize this pump. So I'm not buying Bitcoin, I'm not buying Ethereum, I'm buying altcoins in a specific ecosystem. Now, if we look at Ethereum, we see something very similar. So we see a double fair value gap around here. So I'm thinking Ethereum is gonna probably pass the $2,000 price structure to maybe $2,500, $2,300. Now that is pretty good. Why? Because altcoins are gonna flourish. If it passes this, we're seeing a 30% pump on Ethereum. So maybe a 15% of pump on Bitcoin, 30% pump on Ethereum. Pay attention to for bullish, this is a bullish narrative, is that the market cap for USDC is dropping. So when people get out of USDC, they're typically buying what? Altcoins. We see a stablecoin exchange flow. Look at how dramatic that's falling since 2023. Look how dramatic that is. And look at in recent history, a lot of stablecoins are exiting centralized exchange. So you have to ask yourself the question, where are they going? They're going to DeFi.
They're going to Web3 applications. That's what's happening. People are scared of leaving their money on centralized exchanges. They're taking their money off of centralized exchanges, and they're putting it into a Web 3.0 ecosystem. Also, if you look at the ETH tracker, ETH exchange flow is dropping substantially. January, February, March is dropping. Look at how much it's dropping. And if you think about what Ethereum is, most people are not taking Ethereum off of exchanges to hodl it, in my personal opinion. I think some people are, but I think most people are using it for gas fees to buy altcoins. That's my personal opinion. Or using it for gas fees to buy NFTs. That's my personal opinion. Why? Because that's the utility of Ethereum. Ethereum is not a store of value. Ethereum is used for gas fees, to pay for transactions, to go multi-chain, to go to different chains, Arbitrum, things of that nature, which, by the way, that's the ecosystem I want to tell you guys about.
But I was bullish. I bought a coin. I'm up 32%. The inner circle is where you get my buy and sell calls moving forward. This is also where you get my crypto research. When I do a deep dive into the market, into the asset prices, things of that nature, that's where you get that.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, how we doing, Alex?
How you doing? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Excited, man. Looking forward to start this new journey, man.
And that's also where you're going to get something I call the Federal Reserve Playbook. The Federal Reserve Playbook is essentially a chart. Okay, it's this chart that breaks down every decision the Federal Reserve has ever made. Now, this gave me extreme clarity, and it gave me a lot of confidence into why the market is in a bull run. And I will likely make more investments in the future because of the clarity I got from the Federal Reserve Playbook. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've seen all types of trading styles, short term, scalping. Believe it or not, I've hired 10 to 15 coaches for my group, and I've seen all of their styles. I've seen how they read things. Some of them are long term. Most of them are shorter term. Some of them are swing traders, right? I've seen day traders. I've seen scalp traders. I've seen all of them. I've come to the conclusion, in my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, that longer term trades typically make more money. So having faith and doing extremely deep research typically leads to larger lump sums of money, because if you add up all the smaller trades, all these small trades, it doesn't amount to as much because they're winning like 2 times and then they lose once and then they win, and then lose. And it's like the endorphin rush is crazy. You don't really learn too much about, you're just looking at charts all day. I'm not trying to put anybody down, but what I will say is that the way I like to do things typically lead to larger gains. Like, for example, the trade I made was, I think it's higher than 32%. I calculated that yesterday. I believe today is like 35% increase on my trade. And I used 1/3 of my stack using risk management and the martingale strategy that I always talk about on my channel. And it increased my entire portfolio by 10%. I made the call in April. I don't really see people making, and I think it's going to go higher. I think it's going to go way higher. I think it's going to go probably up. I wouldn't be surprised, like 200%, maybe even more than that. So if it does go up 200%, I mean, that's like 50% a month. That's like, right now it's at like, we're looking at 3 to 5% a month. The only claims I've made in my channel and everything I do is, in the bear market, in this uncertain time, I've said it over and over again, 3 to 5% a month is realistic. I don't see day traders doing that. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I haven't seen it. Unless somebody can show me the results on a consistent basis, not just 1 month. Now, me being a trader for how long, guys? 8 years, 7 years. I've come to the conclusion over and over again that you can make money off short-term trades, but the long-term, the consistency is what people are missing. They'll make a whole bunch of money this month and then they lose everything the next month. And that comes from these longer-term trades. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that I created the Federal Reserve Playbook because it really sets you up for that. Because if you could see what the Federal Reserve does, because they make moves, they make longer term moves. I mean, they've been increasing rates for how long? They've been increasing rates for like a year and a half, right? So if you play your cards right, you can make larger lump sums of money to pay your bills or to increase your stack. Because I still believe, look, just to give you kind of the overall thought process in my head, I believe we're getting a nice little pump, and it's going to last months. But I still believe there's going to be one major dump to get all of the people, all the liquidity out and just finesse everybody, just like a major black swan event dump. I don't know when it's going to happen, But what I want to do is, number one, I want to increase my stack before the dump. Then I want to get out of the dump before it happens, which, by the way, is clearly shown by the Federal Reserve playbook. When I mean clearly shown, like I have an exact, like when the Federal Reserve makes a move, a specific move, I know the time's running out and I need to pull my money out of the market. Like it's like that. Like it's not like a indicator where maybe if 17 different indicators line up perfectly, then it's time to get out of the market. I'm talking about one indicator, one organization, there's a reason why I'm going extremely deep into the Federal Reserve. There's a reason why I've dedicated my whole life into understanding what they're doing, because they are really the organizers of the entire world, guys. They make everything happen. They are above the government. So some people look at politics, some people look at geopolitical. Everything is a byproduct of what the Federal Reserve does. So why are we wasting our time on everything else? And that's the point I'm trying to make is it's brought me to this point where I really understand to a deep, intimate level exactly when the market's going to pump and when it's not. Now, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect in life. And I'm not going to sit here and claim the timing is the hard part, right? But like once I see that indicator, I know it's time to get out. And the Federal Reserve playbook clearly to the day explains exactly how to do that. And it has confirmations throughout history, and it keeps happening over and over again. I mean, if you look at my research history, I went into understanding crypto and then the Bitcoin halving, and then I went into altcoins, and then, I even helped start the DeFi revolution that you guys see. I was one of the first people talking about it. You can go look at my videos back in the day. And Alex back with another cryptocurrency video. In this video, we're going to talk about my cryptocurrency portfolio.
Basically, Alex was the first person I've ever even heard mention cryptocurrency in my close group of friends or anyone, as a matter of fact.
The biggest and most obvious one, Bitcoin. 40% of my holdings is in Bitcoin.
Today, I am going to be talking about the next Ethereum, Chainlink, basic attention token. I got into decentralized finance, and then I was like, oh, it has to be regulation. So I started looking at regulation, and then I was like, oh, it has to be, the political landscape. And then I started looking at, presidents and things of that nature throughout history. And then I started going here, there, and that, and the third. And I've come to a conclusion that it has to do with the banks. And then, wait, the banks are kind of run by who? The Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve. It all leads to one path. Everything leads to one path. And this is why I've dedicated my entire existence at understanding exactly what they do. I'm going to take the blanket off of the Federal Reserve to show you how they control every variable of finance. They're at the top. And this is where I've dedicated my time. So again, if you want to get the insider stuff while I put together this entire story, it's going to be very deep, extremely deep. I honestly don't know when I'm going to get it done, to be honest with you guys, because I thought it was going to take a week. We're going up on like 3 weeks now. I haven't been able to complete it. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to complete it anytime soon, to be honest with you guys. But, I'll update you every so often with videos like this. But that's where I'm dedicating my life to, because it trickles down, guys. It trickles down. The Federal Reserve controls the banks. The banks control what? Corporations and organizations like, these big companies. The companies have what? They have stocks, right? These stocks are what? Kind of like the big liquid risk on asset, which is very similar to what? Cryptocurrencies. Like it's a trickle down effect. And then the cryptocurrencies, the altcoins, right? So if we can move with the Federal Reserve, it comes all the way down to our purchase or sell of an altcoin, then we could be far ahead. Everybody's getting super emotional with all the news. Like if you would have followed the news, Silicon Valley Bank, if you would have followed that news and got negative, and to a certain extent, I followed it, and that's why I'm getting out of this, you would have been wrecked. So again, I'm gonna say it to you, the Federal Reserve finesse everyone. And there's all types of nasty stuff. They steal from the poor. They enrich themselves. They enrich the organizations they're involved with. But in my personal opinion, and besides all the doom and gloom, they make moves. They have to publicly explain what they do. And this gives us an extremely good opportunity to be able to dissect that and make investment decisions based on what they're saying. Remember, they got buddies. They bail out their buddies and their buddies make moves. So if we can analyze the truth behind it, the deep, intimate truth, and understand each individual variable of the Federal Reserve. A lot of people say they understand the Federal Reserve, and I will challenge that because I know smart people. I know deeply smart people, very, very intellectual people, people with like macroeconomics wisdom, like they really understand macroeconomics. And I could say without a shadow of a doubt that they don't understand the Federal Reserve the way I'm dissecting it right now. And I'm not here to compare. I'm just trying to humble you and let you know that there's dimensions to understanding. There's deeper dimensions. And I mean, just look at how I'm moving. Like, what do you think I do all day? You think I'm playing video games all day? I am researching all day the Federal Reserve. And I'm not even, I would say realistically, like 20% there. Probably not even 20% of really understanding all the intrinsic details of the Federal Reserve. Now, I do have a chart that exposes a lot of things, but I'm like, I want to understand everything. This is going to be like finance college education for me. This is like, if I started over, if I had to start over, if I could start over, and I had money and I was young and I knew nothing about finance and I could tell my younger self what to do, I would tell it to ignore everything and study the Federal Reserve the same way I'm studying it now and their correlation to asset prices. That's what I would tell myself. I would tell it, ignore everything, study the Federal Reserve and the correlation to asset prices, and make your investment decisions based off that and use good risk management. That's what I would do. And this is why I'm moving in that direction and pretty much ignoring all the noise. Doesn't mean I don't know crypto. I do. I'm calling some crazy coins. I know where the liquidity's at. I do know where the liquidity is going, guys. Trust me, I'm watching the market pretty close. But I would say the majority of my time is understanding the market direction, which starts at the Federal Reserve, at the tippy top of the pyramid. That's what I want to expose. Again, if you want to jump in and learn what I'm doing, I'm actually doing a live stream today, a live Q&A in the CoinPix Inner Circle. In CoinPix Inner Circle, I will probably be talking about a lot of this stuff. You can ask me any question you want. Join CoinPix Inner Circle. Right now, it's 50% off. Support me and my vision of what I'm doing in the future, exposing the elite. Join the resistance. I love you guys. Thanks for sticking along through all of the trials and tribulations and the ups and downs and all this crazy madness. I hope you're hanging in there. You are hanging in there. Push through, learn more. Don't go into fear and doubt. Ignore all of those things. Be happy. Understand that life could be way worse than your current situation. There's people starving out there. There's people going through even greater tribulations than you're going through. And just remember, these tribulations lead to a prosperous life. It leads to growth. It leads to so much growth. It leads to so much growth. Don't feel upset. Don't be depressed about anything. Look outside. Look at the sun, man. Look at your body. You feel good. Like I feel good today. I feel amazing today, and hopefully you do as well. Thank you for watching this video. Like I always say, and I'm going to say it again, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Catch you guys in the next video. Be easy. Whenever that is.